Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in this upwards trend, Bitcoin is facing some serious challenges in breaking above its local high. And this is very bad timing because we have the monthly candle close in just 8 days. If Bitcoin doesn't move upwards soon, it could very well drop downwards and form a double top formation that will send Bitcoin into a bearish monthly candle close. Can a potential Christmas rally save Bitcoin? And is a Christmas rally even a real thing, or is it just bullish propaganda? Guys, without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's dive straight into it today, guys. We don't have many charts to look at. We've got the daily chart, the 4-hourly chart, the monthly chart, looking at that rejection line, and then also looking at the daily chart again, but this time from a long-term perspective, so we can take a look at what's happened historically with the Christmas rallies, right? There's a whole idea, a whole kind of concept, I suppose, that's circulating right now as we approach Christmas in 2 days here, that Bitcoin and markets in general generally see something called a Christmas rally, which is when the price moves upwards during Christmas time. I don't know, because it's happy, I guess. I don't know what the psychology behind it is. In fact, it doesn't really make too much sense to me because I believe that it would make more sense that the market would actually move down during Christmas because people are spending money. But look, I'm not one to kind of pick apart the underlying, motivating factors of the concept. I'm trying to realize whether it's real or not. That's what I'm here to do today. I'm trying to look at the past and extrapolate that to the future. So before we even get into the idea of a Christmas rally, we have to understand where Bitcoin is. So Bitcoin, obviously, has this yellow trend line. It's in a strong upwards trend. It's been an upwards trend for a long bit of time now. It's been an upwards trend since September, around 3 months, right, basically. And right now we're seeing that upwards trend being challenged for the first time. It's facing some resistance here, some headwinds, right, as we head upwards towards this 44K level. The next major resistance, as identified by the volume profile, is actually up here at 48K, but we're finding resistance here at this pink line at 44.7K. We found resistance at it on the 5th of December, on the 8th of December, rejected downwards, retested the Ichimoku Cloud baseline here in red. It's red moving average, Ichimoku Cloud baseline. Bounced off of it, went upwards again, found a brief resistance at this green box here at 43.5K roughly, bounced back down to the Ichimoku Cloud baseline, bounced upwards again, broke above again, and now we're testing 44.7K once again. So you can see kind of this, jumping around in this price region, just desperately trying to find the reality. Are the bulls stronger? Are the bears stronger? We're really struggling to kind of hold on to this upwards trend here. This is the first time in the entire 3.5 month upwards trend that we're really struggling to hold on to it. We're actually finding a significant challenge here in this price region, and a bit of an unexpected price region. As I said, there's no real proper resistance here. At least there wasn't until recently. If we zoom in, on this chart here, for example, we go to linear and we bring up the volume profile, we can actually go ahead and see that realistically, the next major resistance, according to the volume profile, actually sits here at 48K. Obviously it's being built up now because we're in that price region now, but you can see down here, it's 38.5K, that's the support, and 48K is the resistance. And finding resistance in this weird kind of mid-range is quite interesting, but it does make sense, right? It does make sense because realistically, the gap between 38.5K and 48K was a 25% gap. And filling that massive gap on a continuous move to the upside after a move upwards 52% before even exiting the 38.5K resistance is a big task. So it's no surprise to me that we found resistance in between macro ranges. We are in between macro ranges. Again, we're between 38.5K and 48K. But yeah, look, it doesn't surprise me we found resistance between the macro range. Perhaps the level at 44.7 is slightly surprising, but that's where we are now. So if we zoom in the 4-hourly chart, what we can go ahead and see is that, well, realistically, the upper resistance sits at 44.7K, all right? We've got this green support box here, this temporary support that we're testing right now, and we're 2 days away from Christmas, and we know that our lower level actually stems from this yellow line or something like the Ichimoku Cloud baseline, but for the most part, if we're zooming into the actual short term, the proper short term on Bitcoin, our upper level in the short term is 44.7K. It's absolutely required that we break that to the upside if we are to continue this upwards trend. If we reject from 44.7K and we drop below this green box, okay, we're in very serious danger for Bitcoin. Because if that occurs, that becomes quite a big threat in the sense that we might reject from the monthly candle Ichimoku Cloud baseline, which rests at 42K. Now, this is getting all confusing now. I understand that. I'm saying a lot of words, but it's all relevant, right? I'll explain it again in a second, right? But what I'm trying to explain is this. The monthly candle close is extremely important on Bitcoin. We have 8 days into the monthly candle close. We have the Ichimoku cloud baseline, the red line on the screen right now, being an absolutely definitive trend, moving average indicator for whether Bitcoin is in a bear market if we're below it and a bull market if we're above it. This has been a very strong resistance, very strong support in the past. You can see that in 2019, on a similar move upwards at a similar part in the cycle, like we're doing right now, in 2019, we rejected from the Ichimoku cloud baseline and we saw months of rejection before breaking above it again in 2020 after the halving. So we could see the same thing. There's a very real chance we could see the same thing we saw in 2019, which is when we close below the Ichimoku cloud baseline, we close below 42K, we reject for months, and we only break above it again, in the middle of next year after the halving, right? That's a very, very real possibility. Now, people don't want to accept that possibility because they're getting consumed by greed at the moment after this massive move to the upside without any significant correction. They're getting consumed by greed, but that is a possibility. That's a possibility we've discussed extensively on this YouTube channel. The possibility of closing below 42K on this monthly candle, rejecting downwards for months, and then breaking above it again and starting the bull market next year. That is a possibility. We need to take it seriously. We need to take it seriously, especially considering what's happening right now. Again, we only have 8 days until the monthly candle close, okay? Bitcoin needs to close the monthly candle above 42K, which is this line here. I'm going to make it orange so you can see it. That is where we need to get the monthly close above. The monthly close happens at this vertical line right here. So provided Bitcoin is below this orange line, right, by the end of this vertical line over here, okay, we will close the monthly candle below 42K and we will probably see months of rejection downwards. So you can see how critical this level is. And we're only a little bit above that level right now. And as I said, we're finding very tough resistance and we very well could break downwards here below this support line and go downwards and close that monthly below this monthly line and head downwards for months because of that. So it's a very critical level. So we're kind of in a region where we need something to definitively break us to the upside in order to avoid that possibility, because that's a very real possibility. And I'll tell you right now, Bitcoin will be moving out of this range here before the end of the month, right? It will be moving down, in which case we're kind of screwed, all right? In which case we're going to see correction for multiple months, which actually would be healthy in my opinion. I think that's personally what I want to see from a cyclical level, but in terms of like the barbarian low IQ brain of, oh, Bitcoin goes up, that means it's good. We want to see it go to the upside, of course. So, we're either going to move downwards below this green level, in which case we're very likely to close below 42K and get a bad monthly candle, or we're going to move upwards from this pink level. That's going to happen before the end of the month, right? Now, one thing that can save us, quote unquote, on Bitcoin and pump us to the upside and get us out of risk of closing this monthly candle bad below 42K would be a Christmas rally, right? That would save us. Now, there is kind of this lurking kind of suspicion about Christmas rallies. Are they real? Will it occur on Bitcoin this time? Will it save Bitcoin from potentially closing this monthly candle below this red line and going downwards for months before the halving? Will it start the bull market right now instead of in the middle of next year? So we need to look into reality. What have we done historically? The only way we can really answer this question, is there a Christmas rally? Is it a real thing? Do Christmas rallies exist, and are we going to see one this time? Is looking into the historical data. Have we seen Christmas rallies before on Bitcoin? Now, unfortunately, the answer is very simple. I hate to break your bubble. I hate to burst your bubble, but Christmas rallies are not real, okay? They don't exist. At least on the Bitcoin chart. At least from what I've seen. And I'll tell you exactly why. I'll just go through some of the data points. Christmas, 25th of December was right here. We went sideways for another month after that. The Christmas rally did absolutely nothing. Moving into Christmas 2021. Christmas 2021, we actually continued a downwards trend. Did absolutely nothing. Christmas 2020. Let's just keep going back through all of these Christmases here and see if there's any significant Christmas rally. We saw a Christmas rally in 2020. So that's 2 non-rallies, 1 rally, but that was in the peak of the bull market there. So it's looking like it's just a cyclical thing. It's just normal price action. What about Christmas in 2019? Again, we went sideways. Nothing occurred whatsoever. Christmas in 2018. Go ahead and check it out. I'm pretty sure we just went sideways. Yep, sideways. Nothing happened whatsoever. No significant price spike on long-term inspection. Perhaps on very short-term inspection, there would have been a spike of some sort. But, realistically, there's no dramatic effect. What about something like 2016 Christmas? All right, let's take a look here. Go to December. December 25th is Christmas Day. And we can see if that's right here. Okay, so we saw a Christmas rally in December. But overall, we could just go back, further and further in price action. I've actually done this independent on this video. I don't want to waste your time. The fact of the matter is, it's more or less just 50-50. I don't see significant evidence at all from a historical perspective on Bitcoin, you know, perhaps on traditional markets there is, but we know right now traditional markets are not correlated to Bitcoin. You know, perhaps on traditional markets it exists, but on Bitcoin, there's certainly no evidence for any significant Christmas rally that has ever occurred. As a trend, you know, perhaps individual Christmas days have led to upside price action, but it's nothing special. And so the whole concept of, oh, there's usually a Christmas rally, that whole idea that has been circulated on YouTube, circulated on Twitter, it is asinine. It's not real. So it's just propaganda in a way. It's just bullish propaganda. So I don't think that the Christmas rally is an established trend, and hence I don't believe that there's any reason to assume that we should be pumping on Christmas unless there was TA evidence to suggest that. And I actually don't think there is at this point in time. I would actually say that the TA at this point in time is not looking particularly good. You know, you don't really get bullish on Bitcoin with your double top formation literally in play currently. That's not a bullish structure. Now, I'm not saying Bitcoin can't go upwards, because I'll say this: Bitcoin has consistently ignored short-term TA for the last bloody 6 months, in my opinion. So it very well could go upwards. But until we actually go upwards, until we actually break 44.7K, the indication at this point in time is we're probably going to be breaking downwards. And if we do that, if we do get a materialized breakdown from this level and we go below 42K and we close below 42K on a monthly candle close, that will actually flip Bitcoin pretty bearish for the next few months. Now, not macro bearish at all, because it's actually very regular. It's exactly what we did in the last cycle, and we still saw a bull market as per the cyclical trends. But it would flip Bitcoin bearish for the next few months. It would flip Bitcoin into a significant, few month long correction until the halving, when we'd finally go upwards after the halving. And as I said, I actually want that to occur. I actually think that would be very healthy for Bitcoin. I know for a fact, I've looked at the data, I've looked at the charts, I'll show you a chart right now, that Bitcoin is overextended at this point in the cycle. This cyclical comparison snapshot was taken a few weeks ago as we reached 44K for the first time, and you can see that in comparison to the last 2 cycles, between days from the all-time high in the bull market to days of a break of the all-time high, which is a trend forming that's usually 1,100 days between those 2 events, we can see we're actually quite overextended at this period of the market cycle, and we probably need to move sideways / downwards for a few months to get back on track to what we've done in the previous cycles. So Bitcoin is overextended at this point in the cycle. I do think it will be healthy if we reject it from 42K, and that's what the TA suggests. Now, obviously, and I have to clarify this every video, I'm getting very sick of clarifying it, okay? We simply cannot predict what's going to happen with ETFs. We cannot. We know they're probably going to be approved, but we don't know what that approval is going to do to the Bitcoin price in the short term. And matter of fact, we don't actually know what it's going to do in the long term either. A lot of people act like we do. We don't, okay? Yes, it probably will be bullish long term, but the short term approval, the immediate term effect of an ETF approval, right, could actually be bad for Bitcoin. It could be a sell the news event, because as soon as ETFs are approved, that doesn't mean buying's coming in instantly. You know, that the ETFs aren't going to be released into the market as soon as they're approved. They have to be set up. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be an immediate event where all these institutions, all these whales are throwing, billions of dollars into Bitcoin as soon as it's approved. It's just not how it works. It will be a long process. It will take a long period of time. It will be slow growth that comes from the ETFs, not like, this massive surge of growth that comes instantly. And so to act like the market can't go down over the next few months because the ETFs will likely to be approved is ridiculous in my opinion. And also we need to consider that the ETFs, the deadline for the ETFs is January 10th, and this monthly candle closes on January 1st. So it's likely that we don't even see any news regarding ETFs until after this monthly close occurs anyway. So I think that it's very important to take this monthly close very seriously. There is a very real possibility that Bitcoin could close below 42K, in which case we will be seeing most likely a significant correction on Bitcoin that could last a few months, or at least consolidation. You know what I mean? And I think that'd be very healthy to bring us back on track with the cyclical theory. But it doesn't really matter what I think. It doesn't really matter what I want. What matters is what happens. And right now, what we need to look at is this price action, this short-term price action. We rarely need to pay attention to 44.7K. The longer Bitcoin spends below 44.7K, the higher the chance this turns out to be a double top formation, and the higher the chance Bitcoin goes downwards and closes that bearish monthly. We need to be seeing a break of 44.7K soon. If we don't see it, in my opinion, in the next 2 days, I think 48 hours is reasonable. If we don't see it in 48 hours, I think that Bitcoin will go downwards. I do believe that. Now, we'll be assessing the short-term TA as it progresses over the next few videos. Right now, it's very much on the fence. There's a reason the price is moving sideways. It's because the whole market is on the fence, so it's kind of irrational for me to take an opinion on it. But I know what this structure looks like. It looks like a double top formation. That's not a very nice formation, so we need to be breaking up out of that formation immediately. I reckon we've got about 48 hours. If we don't break upwards in 48 hours, I think Bitcoin will be dropping downwards. That's generally what happens with these formations. And a very good way to get a time measurement about how long Bitcoin has, in quotations, to break above 44.7K is look how long it took in the last shoulder. So from the last shoulder, when we broke above this green level, it took roughly 5 days to break back down below it. So 5 days of rejection from the upper level before we broke down below this short-term support. So if we take 5 days from the break upwards, that means we have until basically the 25th of December, until Christmas, to break upwards. 48 hours we've got to break upwards. If we don't break upwards in 48 hours, I think Bitcoin's in big trouble here. So we'll have to pay close attention to that. We'll have to pay close attention as well to the monthly candle close. And yeah, the Christmas rally, I think, is not a thing. I'm debunking the Christmas rally trend here. It's not a trend at all. It's clearly just kind of bullish propaganda. I love how I use that word propaganda in this regard, but that's the only word I can think to describe it. So guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and check out the VIP group on Telegram. We trade altcoins a few times a week there on VIP, 3 or 4 times a week. We enter altcoin signals that I post in the weeks prior that give you entry suggestions, take profit suggestions, stop loss suggestions, all you need to make a trade realistically. We've got 14-day free trial in there if you want to do a free trial before you pay. Alternatively, we have the payment information, and then also we have the VIP trading results PDF. So all of the trading results historically rounded up there in the PDF with an 80.5% running win rate, which is absolutely exceptional. Check it out there in Telegram. Then we have the Bitget and Bingx exchange. If you want to trade cryptocurrency, which you'll need to do at some point if you're watching this YouTube channel, I assume, you need an exchange to do so. Bingx is global non-KYC, and Bitget is global KYC minus the USA. So take a pick there, depending on whether you want KYC, non-KYC, depending if you're from the USA or not. Bingx and Bitget, they're both very low trading fee exchanges. They've both never been hacked before, and those are the important things. So go ahead and check them out. My referral link is down below for both of them. You'll get a 15% trading fee discount for either exchange for life. Save thousands of dollars on fees there with my referral link. So go ahead and do that if you're interested. And then finally, the Crypto Academy Become a Trader course. If you want to learn how to trade, it's literally in the title, Become a Trader. This is what the course is called. So you can become a trader by doing this course, or at least you can have the skills to become a trader if you wanted to. All of the information about the course is on the website, including the unit topics, the titles for the units, what you actually get content-wise. So, slides, videos, worksheets, trading diaries. It's all there. Check it out. The email address is there as well, cryptoacademycourses@gmail.com. We'll get back to you very shortly with any requests for information you might have and with any payment receipts you might be sending us. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.